city with roads in need of repair. In an economy down on its luck, the citizens of Saco, Maine look towards the only thing separating them from an auto Armageddon filled with potholes, flat tires, and unsafe roadway conditions. Bond, Roadway Bond. Here to smooth your roads and improve your drainage, Municipal Question 1, the Roadway Bond, could be Saco's best hope for a brighter and safer tomorrow. No more spilled coffee for you. Coming this November to a voting booth near you. Vote yes on Municipal Question 1. Our roads depend on your vote.
Hello, I'm Mayor Ron Michaud. Now that we've gotten your attention in a lighthearted way, I would like to talk to you about an issue we consider to be quite important to our city. This November, voters of Saco will be asked to support an important $2.3 million bond issue for the required maintenance of our road system. Our roads represent one of the most significant capital investments we make in our community. Our roads require proper maintenance to ensure safe and reliable transportation for all of our citizens. Because of the current fiscal environment, our pavement maintenance funding has fallen below sustainable levels. However, our roads still need to be maintained. If we attempt to defer this maintenance, our roads will require more costly and extensive rehabilitation in the near future. Using this bond issue to perform needed maintenance to our roads is the most effective use of our tax dollars. In fact, over the life of the bond, this measure will actually save taxpayers money. Please take a moment to listen to some of our outstanding citizens and dedicated city staff members as they tell you why they think Municipal Question 1 should earn a yes vote from you on November 3rd.
The City of Saco is proposing to issue a $2.3 million bond to finance the cost of paving and improvements of our public streets. The terms of this bond will provide a fixed interest rate ranging from 2.5% to 3% over an 8-year term. The estimated interest payments of approximately $310,000 will bring the total bond amount to $2.6 million. The city currently has approximately $20 million in outstanding debt, including city, school, and sewer department issuances. $12 million of that balance are obligations of the city's general fund, of which $2.7 million will be maturing over the proposed 8-year borrowing period. Thus, the net impact of borrowing $2.6 million would be offset during the life of the bond. Stated more simply, the overall impact through 2018 would be a net decrease of 7 cents on the mill rate. Now that we know the pertinent details of the proposed bond, I'm sure you're wondering why the City Council and staff are proposing this measure. To understand that, we need to know a little about the roadway system that we use almost every day of our lives here in Saco. Nearly all of our roadways are built in layers, starting with compacted earth and gravel for drainage. All of these layers are covered in asphalt, which is a blend of tar, oil byproducts, and aggregate gravel. In a perfect world, the layer of asphalt repels rainfall and snow, forcing the runoff into drains or the shoulder of the road. However, like all structures, roads deteriorate over time. Potholes form because all asphalt road surfaces eventually crack under the heat of the day and the constant stress of vehicular traffic. These cracks allow rainwater and snow to seep into the underlying dirt and gravel. During the winter, this water freezes and expands. Some of the subsurface is displaced as a result, leaving a hole when the water eventually melts. As cars, and especially trucks, drive over these unseen holes, even more stress is put on the asphalt surface. Eventually, the asphalt layer over these subsurface holes collapses, creating cracks, ruts, and eventually potholes. But how do we know our roads have really become a problem?
A big part of our pavement management program here in Saco is getting out annually and measuring the condition of the roadways. We'll get out and check each segment for defects and how they've changed from year to year. This pavement has been deteriorating for quite some time. What started out as small cracks has progressed, the water has gotten down in, and through freeze and thaw cycles it has opened up. The keys to our pavement management system are doing the right treatment to the right road at the right time. Here in the Hillview Heights neighborhood, we have sections of pavement that need to be completely rebuilt, reground up, regraded, and paved. And we have other sections of road that are within that early time frame when you can just provide an overlay and give those roads another 12 years of life.
Many of our roads and streets were developed 100 to 200 years ago, quite frankly, designed for horse and buggy traffic, certainly not for the amount of traffic that uses roadways today. If you look back just in the past 20 to 25 years, we've had a very significant increase in the amount of traffic that uses the roadways, the weight of the traffic that uses the roadways, and in the amount of pedestrian and foot traffic as well.
I'm 81 years old. We moved here about 1929. Except for the times when I was in the Corps, we've lived right here in this house. And I have to tell you, the road now is as bad as it ever was then. There are a number of children and there are an awful lot of people drive by, but I think one of my biggest safety concerns is for the bicyclists. We've got a lot of bicycles up and down this road and they have no place to go.
It's really important from a police department perspective to have good, well-constructed, flat roadways for the Public Works Department to plow. What happens with a lot of the roads that are not well kept and that are in need of repair is they take longer to plow, they take more effort, more time, more personnel to keep clear. They tend to rut back up much sooner than the other roads do because we weren't able to do a real good job cleaning those roads off in the first place and removing the snow from the surface.
Why should I care if there are a few potholes on the road? I can just drive around them.
What makes a community attractive is how well the community takes care of itself. I think you get what you put out, more or less. So if I were looking, for instance, in a neighborhood for a home and the road was in sad case of disrepair and I had children and I was concerned, I would probably be more inclined to look elsewhere.
Road repair is one of those infrastructure areas that we have to spend money on, much like the schools. They're as important to the schools because we aren't getting kids to their educations on unsafe roads. I think we invest in the infrastructure. I think it's an investment in ourselves.
We have to have a good transportation system. Our whole economic life depends upon it, and just the comfort and well-being of the people is dependent upon it.
Yes, the business community really are definitely concerned about our infrastructure, primarily our roads.
It is an expenditure, but really, if you think about it, it's an investment in our community.
It does affect how you feel about the town. I've heard a lot of good compliments about the roadways here in Saco. We certainly at Public Works take pride in the way of our roads look. We want people to drive to work and not have to worry about a bad, bumpy ride. Preferably, we don't want you to even think about it. You know, you get to work. If you haven't thought about our road system, we're doing something right.